Seemingly good news for the economy. U.S. employers shattered expectations, adding 467,000 jobs in January, well over expectations. But the unemployment rate increased slightly to 4%, up from 3.9% in December. I want to bring in ABC News political director Rick Klein, along with business and economics correspondent Deirdre Bolton, to unpack this a little bit. And Deirdre, I want to start with you. Not only did the numbers for January, really shatter expectations, but reports from December and November were also revised much higher. How significant is this increase in hiring?
Diane, it's really significant, and I'm glad you pointed out those revisions upwards. I don't know that we've ever seen a statistical anomaly like that. We'll also admit that data gathering during this pandemic is a little harder, but you're so right about the previous 2 months. So it's essentially showing you that the labor market is shrugging off the doom and gloom of Omicron. This is a really strong signal. It's going to mean a lot to the Fed, which we can talk about in a minute. I just want to go over some of the groups, and I wrote them down here, that saw the largest amount of hiring. So leisure and hospitality, transport, warehousing, retail trade, professional services. So gains across the board. I spoke with a few economists this morning, and they said, listen, it seems as if the U.S. workforce is adjusting to working during a pandemic. This is a huge signal of strength. One other thing to note is that we saw hourly wage growth really grow. So if you look at the month of January, it grew 0.7%. That is essentially 5.5%. It's actually 5.7% higher than this time a year ago. So another indication that the Fed is more than likely going to raise rates in March. Why is that important? Because it affects all borrowing that we do. Car loans, mortgages, any business borrowing, it makes it more expensive. It means that the Fed thinks that the U.S. economy is healthy enough to put the brakes on a little, Diane.
And Rick, how are the Biden administration's policies thought to have affected the economy?
Yeah, Diane, this is fascinating because I think the Biden White House was among those that thought this would be a disappointing number. They were already explaining all the factors that might go into this. So I'd expect when we hear from the president later this morning, he's going to celebrate this and draw a through line from the stimulus package, the recovery package. There is an unprecedented amount of new government money that's been coursing through the economy, helping employers bring people back into the workforce, helping employees adjust to the new reality of the life. And these reports also show how that new reality is setting in. New numbers, new record numbers of people working remotely, new infrastructure that's in place to support that in so many businesses across the country. I would expect that the president is going to claim credit for what's already passed in terms of the COVID relief package early last year, the infrastructure package that passed in the middle of last year or late last year, and use it as an argument for trying to revive other parts of his social spending package to say that there is more work to be done in the economy. Obviously, the drag of inflation is going to harm perceptions around the economy. It is striking. We did a poll on this just last week, and more than 3/4 of the country felt like the economy was not in a strong place. And I don't know that there's numbers that come out from the federal government that are going to change that. So that's one thing that I think you're going to have to see a little bit of a moderated tone around when President Biden talks about this.
And now, Deirdre, analysts were expecting an addition of just about 170,000 jobs. That's nowhere near the number that we got. Why were they so far off?
Well, Diane, it is tricky to collect this data during the pandemic, but you're right. The range of what was expected. I even spoke with people who were expecting a subtraction of 400K, a subtraction of 500K. If you looked at the range of possibilities between Wall Street's top economists, honestly, there was really a lot of running room. I want to pick up on a point, if I may, that Rick just mentioned as well. While we are amazing at counting the number of jobs, we are significantly less amazing at counting the quality of jobs. And I think that is what we are going to see a little bit more over the next few months. I am very curious to see how President Biden, of course, addresses it. It's a win for the administration, but I think we have a few more data points to go before we can officially say, okay, the U.S. economy is back in full force, Diane.
All right, Rick Klein, Deirdre Bolton, great to have you both. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.